Here are some cozy games that you might enjoy if you're an SFF reader. Hello everyone, welcome back to A Fictional Escapist. My name is Kris, and today's video is a little bit different. I have been leaning more into gaming this year. Not to say that I haven't been reading, but it has certainly drawn my attention and my spare time more so than picking up 80 to 90 books in a given year, which has been my normal rate of reading, and so far this year I am at 42, working on 43 and 44, which seems like a relatively slow year for me personally. What I have been doing though is gravitating more towards gaming, and I'm not someone who loves these AAA titles which have hundreds and hundreds of hours of gameplay, super realistic graphics. You can go to Rachel for that. What I tend to enjoy is more on the cozy side, the repetitious side, and something that I can turn my brain off to, but there have been some absolute hidden gems that I've really enjoyed as someone who enjoys being in the SFF sphere of the planet as well. So I thought maybe it'd be interesting to share some recommendations if you like certain fantasy / sci-fi genres. What I've been playing. Is anyone else out there who is interested in this sort of stuff as well? And if you're not necessarily a gamer, but you're looking in dabbling into something a little bit lower stakes, then this is probably a good place to start. So, starting us off with genres, I have 12 games here in total over a number of different genres. This is by no means an extensive list, and I could probably do a part 2 based on games I would like to play as a fan of these particular genres as well. So if you do want a part 2, by all means, let me know in the comments down below. But for now, let's jump in to 12 cozy games I would recommend if you are an SFF reader. We're going to start off with the subgenre of Grimdark. Yes, I am talking about cozy Grimdark games, but hear me out. The first one that I want to mention is Graveyard Keeper. I'm just going to read the about Graveyard Keeper because it sums it up way better than I ever could. Graveyard Keeper is the most inaccurate medieval cemetery management sim of the year. Build and manage your own graveyard while finding shortcuts to cut costs, expand into entertainment with witch-burning festivals, and scare nearby villagers into attending church. This is a game of capitalism and doing whatever it takes to build a thriving business. Graveyard Keeper is created by Lazy Bear Games and also published by TinyBuild. Now, TinyBuild is a publisher which I've really enjoyed my time with, and I have another one of theirs to go and play, which I can talk about if anyone is interested at a later date. This really blends humor and the macabre so well, and it's just like you want to cringe, but you're also having a great time. I've sunk about 80 hours into this game over 2 playthroughs so far. You just run a graveyard and you do some questionable shit. What I liked about this in terms of why it is cozy is because you have those elements which are often synonymous with cozy games. That repetition, you don't necessarily need to sleep in this one. There's no sort of time limit, which I find there is in a lot of like farming sims, but you do get tired if you're awake for more than 72 hours. I didn't realize in my entire first playthrough of this game, I've not finished it. I am a colossal non-finisher of games, but I will go and play a ridiculous amount of hours in pixel art games. What I didn't realize is that there was a teleport stone, and I found that out nearly 80 hours in. What I really liked about this game is just how campy it is in terms of its humor, and you need to essentially build a capitalist Catholic church to make money for this town. It was a lot of fun. There is a lot of DLC for this one. You end up making like zombie helpers to go and do your chores for you because sometimes you can't bother to go and mine slate, and you need it to build stuff. But I had a really fun time with this one. If you are a fan of Grimdark and you like your humor on the darker side, this may be one that you want to pick up. Now, I also have another entry for Grimdark here, and this is my most recent play. It is currently in early access, and this is called Grimshire. I have currently put 28.5 hours into it, and in early access, that's incredible. And I think there's about 40 hours of gameplay in total, maybe 50 for early access. This takes your cozy farming elements and puts some incredibly high stakes into the gameplay. You turn up to this town, so you are rescued from a neighboring town, You're brought to Grimshire, where you are currently residing, and you find out that all of the islands and the towns around you have been infected with a rabid plague. You play as an animal. I'm currently playing as a bear, but I believe there is a fox and a hare that you can also play as, and you've got different like specialties that you pick, different sort of stats that you're able to choose from. This town has gone through so much shit, and I am only in 4. My anxiety is through the roof, but at the same time, you have those cozy elements. As an example, you are cut off from all other towns, yet you still have to do your cozy elements of farming, ranching, mining. It's got that repetitive aspect to it. You have limited time in a day, while also you are fighting a plague and trying to feed greedy armies your rations from your town. This is very interesting. It does have an easy mode, which I haven't ventured into yet. So far, the town has survived. We'll see if that changes before the end of winter, because I have absolutely no rations for winter thus far. The army keeps wiping me out, and a plague of scarecrows crows. I need to build scarecrows, has just entered the scene. This one is one of those games which really blends cozy elements with the high stakes and just like the underlying threat of accidentally killing an entire town. So for that reason, I've put it in the Grimdark sphere as well. But it's fun. I don't know how it works, but it just does, in my opinion. The next one I'm moving on to is going to be those of you who like progression/cultivation fantasy, and even sci-fi. These elements are... Normally when I find the progression and cultivation fans, we like the grind. We want leveling up systems, we want huge worlds that we can go and explore in, and we find some coziness in that repetition as well. And for this one, I'm going to recommend Sunhaven. This game is enormous. It is based on I think it's D&D meets like Stardew Valley. I haven't scratched the surface of this one, and I'm about 30 hours into it. There are 3 separate areas where you can go ahead and set up your villages, your farms. There is questing to do. You can just go and explore and live your life in these towns. The world is your oyster here. There is magic, there is mayhem. It's got cute pixel art. You've got that repetitious element to it as well. And if you are so inclined, there is romance to be had amongst the town. If anyone has played Sunhaven and wants to know who I've gone for in the romance element, it is Liam, because I like a little bit of a wounded bird who needs some help, and that seems to be Liam in the game. But I'm having a great time with this one. I don't know about copyright laws and whatnot, so I'm not sure about like taking actual screenplay from it, but I will be putting all the photos up in the corner there. This one is now available on Switch and Steam. I've been playing it on Switch. I will say for most of these, I've been playing them on Steam, with a few of them available on other handheld devices. Moving on from there, we are going to go back into the darker topics of SFF with Dystopia, and for this one I'm going to recommend a game called I Am Future. I Am Future follows you as you wake up in a post-apocalyptic world on the top of a building in like an urban jungle, an urban city. Your task is to find out what the hell happened and clean it up as you go along. As of now, I think I've played about 12 hours of this one, and it really has those cozy elements, those crafting elements, and you're trying to make connections with other robots. You have robots that you can go and talk to, and you build drones and you build tech to try and get further out to other areas. This one captivated me pretty solidly when I first started playing it, but I did find it at around the 10-hour mark. It was a bit same. That was when it was in early access. I believe we've had a few updates with it now, so I've been thinking about this one and going back to it, but I've been having a great time trying to clean up my own property, and I've just unlocked the next property to go in and clean up. And it's fun to explore as well. There's a lot of stuff that you can go and explore here. So if you are interested in a cozy post-apocalyptic game, that is exactly what this one has been described as, and I would have to agree. The next one that I'm going to talk about is quests. So if you are someone who likes quests, I have 2 recommendations here. The first one is going to be Moonlighter, which I believe is getting a second installment later this year. If it's not 2025, I'll put it down below when that is expected to release. In this game, you are a shop merchant. You inherit this shop and you need to run it for the townsfolk. You can expand it, I believe, but what is under the surface is there is a series of dungeons that we have in the town that need to be explored and to defeat the bosses that are inside of it. This is super fun and cute. Again, you've got that repetitious element. No farming, I believe in this one. From memory, no farming. It's been a while since I played this one, and I think I've clocked around 20 hours on this one as well. Rachel has finished it. It's one of the games that we have both played and both enjoyed. You have the element of needing to complete your goals. You need to go and finish these dungeons. When you finish the 3 dungeons, that is game over essentially, but at the same time, you are also running the shop. So you've got that element of, I have to go and achieve these things. As you go into the dungeons, you quest through the dungeons, you get the items that you have, and then you go and sell them to the general public based on their needs. I thought this one was really cute, but it did give you that element of, I need to reach for that next thing. In a similar vein, we have a game called Potion Permit. This is relatively recent. I want to say I played it in 2023. This is back when we were living in Brisbane, right before we moved to Perth. And in this one, you are a doctor who moves to a town and you need to uncover the mysteries of the town while also caring for their patients. This one had some exploration elements to it. You did have like patients that you needed to see every couple of days, while also you are continually getting quests to go and explore the lands, open up the various elements that we have in this particular world, and come back and learn more about the potions and healing in your town. Both of these were great, and I definitely would put them in a questy vibe if you like quest fantasy. Moving on to exploration and first contact sci-fi. If you like exploration and discovering and feeling like you're in a new world that's completely different to our own, I would recommend a game called No Man's Land. This is probably the biggest game on this list, and maybe the most well-known as well, but you are dropped into the middle of space and you need to figure it out. There are options in this one to play solo or play multiplayer. I played a little bit with my friend Nathan, and we went and built our bases on various planets and then got frustrated over not being able to find a copper mine. But it is very much you go at your own pace. This world is open, you just do what you want, and it's really addictive in that element. The next one that I have here is a game called Farlands. This is a space Stardew Valley-esque pixel art game where you jump into your spaceship and you can go to various places. I've played this probably the least out of this entire list, with I think maybe 5 to 8 hours on record here. I feel like I've only scratched the surface on this one. You do have the farming elements as well, so that cozy farming sim vibe, which you'll find in a lot of these recommendations because it's something that I tend to gravitate towards myself. But I had a really good time with Farlands. I think this is one that I probably need to explore a little bit more, but at first glance, 5 to 8 hours, I would say it would fit into this niche. Then I'm going to go into coming of age. So coming of age is a particular brand of fantasy that a lot of people feel comforted by anyway. It is the story of people coming into themselves and finding out their place in the world. For this one, I'm going to recommend a pixel art game called Kinseed, where you start as a child and you age up throughout the game with the choices that you make. So I'm about 10 hours into this one as well. You start in your uncle's farmhouse, and you go and do quests, and you learn about the townsfolk. You can ride a pig. That was fun. I did that for like an hour. I don't know what I achieved, but it was fast. It was fun. But you do grow up with this character as they journey through life, and they get various tasks. And they grow up with their sibling as well, which is really nice. I've played, I think about, like I said, 10 hours of this one. And again, I barely scratched the surface of this game. But if you are someone who likes that coming of age vibe, this is one that I definitely got that coming of age feeling from, is that I am growing up with this character as they grow and become who they are going to be. And they're influenced by the choices that I am making. If you like historical fantasy, I'm going to recommend a game called Roots of Pacha. This one had a bit of Steam drama, I believe, back in the day, but it is now fully released and available to go ahead and play. This takes the farming sim and it really does something different with it. In this one, you are in a prehistoric world. We have exploration elements, we've got farming elements, we have the technology, and this is why I've put it in historical fantasy, is because with your tribe, as you progress through the story, as you open up there's like a magic system-ish, magical realism, where you go and you do tasks and you get these totems, and it builds up basically a little temple that you have to the gods, and through that you get new technology. So in the prehistoric era, you are using things which we would probably call archaic, but for them, you get to see them bring this new technology in real time. A little element in this one that I really appreciated that I haven't seen done many other places, except for maybe Chef RPG, which is not in this list, is that being prehistoric, there is a element of hunting and gathering. To feed the tribe, you need to go and hunt. However, in this game, you are able to play it vegan, which I thought was a really cool element and quite modern. A lot of games where you do have that hunting element, you have to go and kill animals. And you have the option of doing that in this one, absolutely. But you also have the option of just making plant-based meat for your tribe, if that's the way you choose to play it. I thought that was a very modern, cute aside to people who prefer to not butcher animals in real life, and also in the gaming world as well. That is just an aside there that I thought was a really fun and interesting element to put that in a game. So Roots of Pacha, there's something magical about this game. If you are a Stardew Valley fan who is a little bit skeptical about things outside of Stardew Valley, this is one that I definitely thought did it differently enough that it felt fresh, and I had a great time with this one. Again, I haven't finished it, but I have put about 36 hours into Roots of Pacha, and I'm closer to the end of this one than I am in a lot of them. To finish us off, we are going to jump into cozy. It's why we're here. We're looking at cozy games. We're looking at cozy fantasy and cozy sci-fi. I'm going to recommend 2 games here to finish us off. The first is going to be a game called Traveler's Rest. In this one, it is, I don't believe there's any magic except for there's like a little portal thing that you go through at the end, but it does have that medieval otherworld feel. You're in a medieval town, you are competing for the Fellowship of the Tavern Owners. You turn up, maybe there's a magical element. There was a ghost cat in the beginning. Ghost cats. What more can I say? You go, you take over this old tavern, and your job is to just build it to the best tavern it can be to then enter it into the Fellowship of the Taverns. There is definitely like love letters and throws to old school fantasy in here in terms of the dialogue and the language here. Again, as a pixel art, I've put, I think, 86 hours into Traveler's Rest so far. This is one that I don't believe there is an end to. There is very little pressure on the player to finish the campaign. You just run this tavern for as long as you want to run the tavern for. There are elements in here which you can build up to. You level up, you unlock new recipes, and eventually you'll get to the end of things that you can do. I'm 86 hours in and I still haven't finished all of the recipes. That being said, I did start again not too long ago to try and do a playthrough and see if it was able to be beat or 100%ed, which I should know myself better. I'm not 100% up. I don't care that much. I play this one when my brain needs a break, because I know every day cycle in this game is about 20 minutes. If I'm doing something like alpha and beta reading and I need to pay attention, but my attention is waning, I'll pop on Traveler's Rest because it's so comforting, so repetitive for me just to go, okay, 20 minutes and I can jump back into it. It'll reset my brain. A very good brain reset game. And the last one that I want to showcase today is a very, very cute game called Bear and Breakfast, where you are a bear who just wants to bring tourism back to the town, and you are at the mercy of capitalist sharks. Any game with a shark. Well, actually, Subnautica, not for me. Can't do first person. Makes me ill. Tangent about sharks. But you do go into this game and you have to build up your whole town to bring tourism back and hopefully restore the town to its former glory. But you do play as a bear and all your friends are animals. So this one is super cute. I've played it twice now. I think in total I'm up to about 15 hours. It's not a super long game. I think you could finish this one in about 10 to 15 hours. But again, it's very much a go at your own pace. Do what you want. It has a decorative element. You go and you build different lodgings for your tourists to go and stay at, and they gradually get grander and grander, and you unlock elements along the way, such as cooking for your guests, and you eventually get, I don't want to spoil it, I nearly did, but you end up cooking for your guests, making better furniture and better lodgings because your guests will have certain needs that they need to be met, and it's just essentially a tourism management sim that is really cute. So if you are an SFF reader, let me know if you would be interested in playing any one of these games. Have you played any of them? Do you have any recommendations? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this content, give one of those. If you want to see more of it, click subscribe at your will. And if you'd like a part 2 of games that I'd like to play based on genres that I enjoy or subgenres that I enjoy, let me know. But till then, I'll catch you in the next video. Ciao.